going to talk a little bit about some thinking strategies in addition. And this is basically what we're doing with this is we might have some addition problems that we need to actually solve. And there's ways of thinking about sort of addition in certain ways to help us out. It also helps. This is important in sort of developing the skills for students too. So you as teachers also need to have a sort of good understanding for things. So counting on, for example, I have this. This is probably like one of the first developmental milestones that kids have with this when they learn about addition. Is what am I going to do? Is I'm going to start with the 7, and then I'm going to count on 2 more, right, to get to 9. So in many ways, you can think about this as I'm just starting 7. This is a measurement model, and do 2 hops. Okay. This is a decent strategy for if these are just small numbers. But once you get to 7 plus 8, for example, counting on 8 is both sort of time-consuming and like easily make mistakes. So. So we talked about the commutative property last time. That basically means I can add things in different order. So this is really important. So for example, if I did 2 plus 7, right, if I'm thinking about the adding on that we just did, or counting on, excuse me, that I just did, I would start at 2 and count on 7, right? But if I think, that's really 7 plus 2, and then I can add 2 on, that's a lot quicker. So we can think about this doing that as well as that to get results. So commutative is really important as well. All right, so the other thing are doubles. So just kind of knowing that doubles are a good strategy to have. And I would say all the way up to 9 plus 9. Okay. First of all, some things that are quite nice to know how to do is once you've got, if I know 7 plus 7 immediately is 14, let's say I'm adding 7 plus 8. Well, that's just one more than 7 plus 7. So I know 7 plus 7, so it must be one more than 7. So 7 plus 8 is one more than 7 plus 7. So that's quite helpful. The other thing is this is the multiple, or multiplied by 2. So, right, that's how we're defining multiplication. We'll see that a little bit later. So there's a couple of reasons for that. So. And then this is huge, and I've been seeing this with my kids as well. Are tens combinations. So basically all of the ways to make 10. So 1 plus 9, 2 plus 8. Right, and you really only need to know half of these because, right, once you get up to 5 plus 5, then the commutative also works. So you just need to know the pairs of numbers that add to 10. But these are going to be really crucial when doing, well, all sorts of things, but immediately starting to do addition with rebundling, that borrow carry thing. So I got that. Let me just throw it, adding 10 is here. All right, 6 plus 10 is 16. So one, like a fairly straightforward method, but it's also leading into place value right away. So yes, and then I'm going to erase over here. Compensation. Okay. And I'll do a couple of examples with this because I think this is the important. This is really key, and it has, as we're going to see later in the course, make sure you're getting it right is really kind of key. But here's the idea with this. When we say, I'll do something pretty straightforward with 9 plus 4, okay? And what we're going to do is I'm really going to think about this. If I can bring one of these 4s over to the 9, so I can write it like this. Which is, again, there's the adding 10, which is pretty straightforward, 13. Okay. So a couple of things with this is I would say, I always like this picture. Let's see, I have 9 objects. Right, and I've got 4 objects. Okay, so all compensation is we're grabbing one of these guys and moving it over to there. So it's saying 9 plus 4 is the same as, I'm not going to write it again, 10 plus 3. Right. And just a little, this is going to be huge a little bit later. If I have something like, let's do 97 plus 48, okay. Well, what we're going to do is I'm actually going to not just compensate one thing like I did here, but I'm going to move 3 things over to give me 100 plus 45. That is 145. Okay. So this falls into mental math. So how do I add these things in my head? This is an easy way to do it, type of thing. So we got compensation. Okay, and I think that wraps up what I want to talk about with addition.